Hey guys, welcome to week 2 of percentages. I'm Miss Woods.
And I'm Mrs. Gross.
And this week we are going to talk about discounts, markups, tax, and tips.
So let's go over some definitions. A discount is a deduction from the usual cost of something. You'll usually find discounts when you go to the store. You'll see like a 30% coupon, or you'll see like 20% off of the original amount. Markup is when you want to make a profit. Like if you were, a store and you wanted to sell something to make a profit, you're going to mark it up. So the markup's the difference between the retail price and the wholesale price to make a profit. Marked down is the reduced price to make a discount. And we put markdown and discount together, but you're going to hear on both markdown and discount, but those are interchangeable. Tax is the amount of money that is equal to the percent of the purchase price. It is added on and paid to the government. Percent error we talked about a little bit last week. Remember that's the difference between the predicted value and the actual value. And then this week we're going to talk about gratuity or tip. We call it tip a lot, but you're also going to hear it called gratuity. It is the sum of money that customarily given to certain workers that for a service performed or anticipated. So you'll see tips when you go to restaurants. You'll normally pay tips there. So let's first talk about discount. And again, it's also known as markdown. So the formula, and again, we've got a percent proportion. We can solve for equation there. It's the sale price over the original price. And this right here is what's something to pay special attention to. Percent you are paying over 100. Now, if you put in the percent of the discount, it's going to give you the discount. It's going to be how much is off. It will not give you the sale price. So we have to figure out the percent we are paying. So like if it's 10% off, we're paying 90%. If it's 25% off, we're paying 75%. So to find the percent you're paying, you want to subtract the percent discount from 100%. So let's look at some examples. Sam wants to buy a washing machine. The original price is $480. What is the sale price if the discount is 20%? So we want to set it up as a proportion. Let me get a... And again, it's going to be the sale price over the original is the percent paying over 100. So let's see if we can figure these all out. Sale price. Do we know the sale price? No, that's what we're looking for. So that's going to be X. Do we know the original price? Yes, the original price is $480. Do we know the percent we are paying? Well, the discount is 20%, so that means it's 20% off. So the percent we are paying is 80%. So that's how we get the 80 over 100. And now we can do like we've been doing. We can cross multiply and divide. So we're going to do 480 times 80, and that is a big number, 38,400. And then 100 times X is 100X. And then we're going to divide that by 100 to solve for X. And 38,400 divided by 100 is 384. So $384 is the sale price. And that makes sense. If the original price is $480 and the discount's 20%, then the sale price is going to be $384. Now, if you were to solve this and you got a number bigger than that, then you would have to go back and check your work. All right, let's look at the next question. A website is selling cameras for $23.03, but mentions that they originally cost $46.06. What percentage is the discount? So let's go back to, I'm going to star this, because we're going to use the same thing. Sell over original equals percent you're paying over 100. So we're going to kind of set that up. So sale price it's got the sell price. They're selling it for $23.03 and original price is $46.06. So we're going to write that $23.03, $46.06. Now, percent you are paying. That's what we don't know. And that's what we're going to look at. What percent is the discount? So we're going to write X over 100. Now, one of the things I need to note here, and I'm going to put a star here, that is the percent we are paying. When we solve this, we're going to get the percent we're paying. We're not going to get the percent discount. So we're going to have to go back and subtract from 100 once we do this. Don't let me forget. All right, so we're going to do 2303 times 100. $23.03 times 100 is $2,303. And then 4606 times X. And then we're going to divide by 4606. By the time we get done with this, boys and girls, you all are going to have the algebra unit memorized, because this is a lot of what we do in algebra. You're going to be like, oh, this is so easy. I got this. So 200303 divided by 4606. When I did that, I got 50. Now, 50 is the discount, is the percent 50 is the percent you are paying. Now, this one's kind of one of those easy ones because 100 minus 50 is 50. So we're paying 50%, but our discount's 50%. If we solve this and we got X equals 30, then our percent discount would have been 70%. Or if we solve this and we got X equals 85, that would be 85% we were paying. So the percent discount would be 15%. So I wanted you to know that. All right, so now let's look at markup. So discount is marking it down, taking it down, it's going to be smaller. Marking it up is going to be making it larger. So let's look at the formula together. The markup over the original price equals percent over 100. Now we've got a little thing right here. If you multiply the original by the percent, that will give you your markup, and that's true. So you're going to get to the point where you're like, I get this and I can take some shortcuts. And a lot of times you can't take shortcuts. But in the beginning, if this is something that you're struggling with, get that percent proportion or that percent equation down and solve that way. And then find some shortcuts for yourself so that you can do it a little bit faster. So let's look at these two examples. Molly bought a refrigerator priced at $442. The item is marked up 6%. So they're wanting to take that item and they're going to want to make a profit of 6%. So what is the cost of the markup? And then what is the total cost of the refrigerator with the markup? So let's first look at the markup. And again, we want to do the markup over the original equals percent over 100. So let's look at it. We don't know the markup. That's what we're looking for. So that's going to be our X. We do know our original. Our original is $442. Now, they have marked this up. They have marked this up 6%. And so if you wrote 106 here, that's going to tell you your total cost. But we also want just the cost of the markup. So I'm going to put 6 here. And I want you to see the difference. If I do 6 out of 100, that's going to give me 6% of 442. If I did 106 out of 100, that's going to give me 106% of 442. So if I just do the 6%, that's going to get me my markup, and then I can go back and add it on later. So I'm going to do 6 times 442, and that is 2,562, and then 100 times X, and then we're going to divide by 100, and X equals, did I do that wrong? 2652. I did do this wrong. This is 2652. I need to calculate correctly. Okay. So 442 times 6 is 20.
Oh, you're still on the eraser.
Let's do, make sure we're doing our math right. I'm going to use my calculator. 442 times 6 is 2652. 2652. 2652. Then I'm going to divide that by 100 and I get $26.52. $26.52 is the answer to part A. What is the cost of the markup? Now we want to know the total. So if we've marked it up $26.52, then what we want to do is just go and add it in. 442 plus 26.52, and that will give us our total, which would be 400. Oh, let's write it somewhere where we can see it. $468.52. Okay. And then let's look at the next question. A store purchased chest of drawers for $41 and sold them for $82. What percentage is the markup? So now we know what the markup is, kind of, and we know the original. The original is what they originally bought them for, so it's 41. And we're looking for the percentage because it says what percentage, so we don't know that, so that's our X over our 100. Now, and I said we kind of know the markup. How much did they mark them up for? They marked it up to $82. So we've got to figure out how much did they mark it up. Well, they went from $41 to $82. So what I want to do is I want to do 82 minus 41, and that's going to tell me my markup. Now, they did 82 minus 41, that is 41. So they basically doubled what they sold them for. So in order to make a profit. So they marked it up $41. So 41 over 41, I'm already seeing, okay, that's a whole right there. And that's going to make sense to you in a second when we see what the percent is, equals X over 100. And when we cross multiply and solve, 4,100 divided by 41 is 100, right? So X equals 100%. And that makes sense. It's 100% markup. If they bought them for $41 and they marked them up 100%, they would mark them up 41 more dollars and they would sell them for $82. So that's how you do markup.
Okay, now I am going to go over tax with you guys. So kind of like Ms. Gross had said, we kind of have two equations on most of these things. We have showing you the proportion, which if you see right here, tax, it has the tax over original price equals the percent over 100. Or if you've got that and there's a specific question that's a little bit easier, you can do the formula original amount times the percent tax equals the dollar tax. And also if it asks you for the total, then you add the dollar tax plus the original amount. So we're going to go ahead and work on the first thing here. Okay, so we have some examples. Pull up my pen so I can write on the screen for you all. Okay, so for the first example, it says, number one, Denise rings up an item that costs $60. After sales tax, the total is $65.85. What is the sales tax percentage? So on this, I'm gonna write number one right here so you know which one I'm working on. So we have to set it up using the proportion that we learned on the slide before. So we'll have tax over original. We can do that, equals percent over 100. So in this, when it says tax right here, we're going to have to take the total, which is 65.85. Let me do this in a different color. And subtract out the $60 because that will give us the actual tax amount. Our original is the $60. We are looking for the percent, so we'll do X for that, and then we will have that over 100. And then we're going to cross multiply, but first I'm going to do we know right here, 65.85 minus 60, that'll give us $5.85, just so that we can go ahead and cross multiply and get that calculation out. All right, so we will have 60x equals 585. We have to divide 60 on each side so we can get x by itself. And x will equal 9.75. So the answer to our question, what is the sales tax percent? It would be 9.75%. That would be your sales tax percentage. I'm going to go ahead and clear this so I can do number 2. Okay, so number 2, the sales tax rate is 9%. If Ivan buys a microscope priced at $896, how much will he pay? So this is where we're talking about you could use one of the easier formulas. So that formula we talked about was the original times, times the percent tax equals the dollar tax. That was one of the other formulas that we gave you guys. So I just want to show you how you can use that on this one. So our original amount that they gave us was right here, $896. And then we are going to multiply by the tax percent, which is right here, 9%. And on this one, if you're doing a calculator, you can do the 9%. You can actually put in 9% in it, or if you would rather show it like 0.09, it's the same thing. So you will do 896 times 0.09 or 9% if you're doing a calculator, and that gives you $80.60. Let me undo that. And 64 cents. So that's how much they would pay. That is your answer.
That would be the tax.
The tax, yeah.
And so then we would add that back on.
Yeah, if we wanted the total cost, we would add this $80.64 back to 896.
Let's go ahead and do that. So it shows them that to get the answer, because it says how much will he pay.
So then we are going to do, so you'll do the total cost would equal 896 plus 80.64, and that will give you $976.64. So that would be your total cost. That would be how much you paid. Thank you, Miss Gross, for pointing that out to me. All right, so we're going to clear this. I'm going to go on to the next problem. Okay, so now we are going to talk about tip, or it can also be known as gratuity. So for the tip, we have another one that we have the proportion, and then we have another formula that might be a little bit easier to use once you understand everything. So the first one, tip, you would do tip over the original price equals percent over 100. Or you can also use, once you get used to this, original amount times your percent of the tip equals your dollar amount of the tip. So if it asks for the total, then you just do the tip amount plus the original amount, which is kind of similar to what we just showed you on tax. So this example, it says Lorelai spent $56.18 at Aspen Creek. She wants to leave a 20% tip. The first question is, what is the amount of the tip? And then they want to know the total cost of the meal. So on this one, I'm going to use the easier equation first, and then on number 2, we'll use the proportion. I just want you all to be able to see that we can use either of them. Okay, so for A, we'll see if we can fit all this on here. So we will do, to find the amount of the tip, you will do the original times the percent of the tip, and that will give you, let me move this up maybe, the dollar amount of the tip. All right, so we have the original is the $56.18, and we know the percent of the tip is 20%, it says right here, if you see that. So we can you can do 20% in your calculator or do 0.20, whichever is easier. And that will give us our tip amount. So if you did 56.18 times the 20%, you will get $11.24. So that is for A, and that is the actual tip amount. So, that was I did way too many lines right there. Okay. And then for B. So what is the total cost of the meal? So if we have the tip, we have the total cost, we have to add those together. So I'm going to write this total cost plus the tip. And that would give us 56.18 plus 11.24. So our total cost would be $67.42. So we're going to move on to our second one, and on this one we're going to use proportion of what we showed on the slide in the beginning, the proportion setup. Okay, so Mallory had a bill of $104.40 at Fresh Take. The tip amount was $26.10. What was the percentage of the tip? So we are going to use, you write tip at the top over the original, and that equals your percent over 100. So that is what we're going to use. Then you are going to go, I don't have a whole lot of space right here, so I'm going to try to squeeze it in here. So for your tip, we already know the tip amount was $26.10. So $26.10 over our original, which is right here, $104.40. And then we are trying to find the percent, so that would be our X, and then we would have 100. And then we have to cross multiply. And that would give us 104.40x equals 26,100. We would have to divide each side by 104.40. Right, and then that gives us our X by itself. So we have 26,100 divided by 104.40 gives us 25%. So our answer, what was the percentage of the tip? The tip would have been a 25% tip. Clear this so that we can move on.
So we got some important reminders. We wanted you to see all of the percent ones together, the proportions here. So a discount, it's the sale price over the original price is the percent you're paying over 100. The markup is the markup over original price is percent over 100. The tax is the tax over the original price, percent over 100. Now remember, if they're asking you for the total, you have to go back and add that in. And then the tip is the tip over the original price equals percent over 100. And same thing, if you want to know the total, you have to go back and add that in. Another important reminders, when you are watching these videos, you want to make sure you're taking notes, writing these things down, because when you're going back to practice, you may not always remember what we said, but if you write it down and practice it over and over and over again, you know how we wrote every single time. We wrote price over the original price equals percent you're paying over 100, and we kept doing that over and over again. It will stick eventually to you. So if you're struggling, go back, watch the video, take those notes, write those down, practice again. And we hope that these videos are helping you.
Thanks, guys. We'll see you later.
Have a great day.